Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the stud buds. Everybody watches the stud buds. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Eiderman, man. Listen, stud buds stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
Forget the sponsorships, the headlines, and all the media buzz. Angel Reese just had a game so disastrous, it could unravel the entire narrative surrounding her rising stardom. For months, she's been painted as the next face of the WNBA, fierce, unstoppable, and destined for greatness. But against the Minnesota Lynx, that carefully built image came crashing down. This wasn't your typical off night. It was a complete collapse, a performance so chaotic and error-filled that it exposed every hidden weakness she's been masking all season. That we're not just talking about poor shooting or missed chances. We're talking about an avalanche of turnovers, confusion on the floor, and a player who looked overwhelmed at every turn. And the most alarming part? This didn't come out of nowhere. It felt like the breaking point of a trend that's been bubbling under the surface for weeks. A deeper issue that can't be ignored any longer.
Angel Reese had 9 turnovers. Yo, listen, y'all gotta stop with this point forward foolishness, man. Let's take a look, man. Hold on, man. Y'all be wildin', son. Bruh, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, yo. Y'all gotta stop.
In the entire WNBA and Angel Reese in garbage time. We saw it. Angel Reese last year against the Fever with like 2 minutes to go. She needed to, I think it was like 6 points and 3 rebounds. And she went and caught like 2 rebounds and then immediately goes at Victoria Saxton 3 times in a row.
Chicago Sky's showdown with the Minnesota Lynx wasn't expected to make headlines, but it turned into a full-blown exposure of Angel Reese's struggles with decision-making under pressure. Her final stat line was nothing short of shocking: 9 turnovers. Let that number sink in. In the professional game, that isn't just a rough night, it's a red flag. A silent admission that the moment was too big. This wasn't about bad luck or elite defense. It was a complete collapse in execution. Reese threw predictable passes that defenders could read from a mile away, the kind even a fan in the nosebleeds could anticipate. She tried to force her way through defenders, only to lose control of the ball like a rookie in a pressure cooker. And then came the offensive fouls, poorly timed, awkward, and momentum-killing. Every turnover didn't just end a possession, it handed the Lynx easy points and deflated her own team's energy. One mistake at a time, you could see the confidence drain from her teammates. That it wasn't just a bad performance. It was a loud, undeniable signal that the composed, fearless image she's built may not hold up when the pressure hits hardest, leaving behind a player visibly unraveling in real time.
Chases after this opponent, gets close to her during a box out, grabs her by her hips, and hip tosses her, throwing her to the ground. She stands up, she walks over to this opponent, bends over, screams in her face, and flips her the double bird. That's the WNBA gold. We're gonna get into it. And the laughter. Oh, Angel. Oh, my angel, you're my darling. Angel, angel, angel. You've been playing well, Angel. I give it to you. You've been playing well. But every now and then, those stinkers, oh man.
Like, there's absolutely no foul in that. She gets a good whistle, jumps up, and then goes at somebody on the other team. Who she go at? She goes at Diamond Miller, her former Maryland teammate. And like, Angel's 1 tech off a suspension as well. And is like, anytime anyone gets into it with her, she's straight in their face. And I'm like, I don't mind that, but you just gotta be smart. To be fair, the Sky sucks, so you might as well just go and take your I'll say it.
To deflect criticism, a neat little narrative has been carefully built around Angel Reese. Pundits and PR representatives claim she's transforming into a point forward, a modern floor general in the mold of Nikola Jokic or Sabrina Ionescu. It sounds impressive. It's meant to, but the reality? That label is more fiction than fact. When Reese gets the ball at the high post, the offense doesn't come alive, it stalls completely. She anchors herself in the paint and unintentionally clogs the lane, turning into a stationary obstacle that kills offensive flow. Instead of cutting and moving freely, her teammates are forced to work around her positioning like they're dodging cones in a drill. What should be clean routes turn into chaotic reroutes. Her so-called facilitation often feels like a gamble. Either the ball sails into empty space with no intended target, or it's a soft, looping pass that gives defenders all the time in the world to step in and take it. This isn't playmaking. It's patchwork. The team isn't running the offense through her because she's some kind of visionary passer. They are doing it because she struggles to score beyond 5 feet, and they need to keep her involved somehow. It's a tactical disguise, an attempt to mask a glaring weakness with a flattering job title. But for anyone actually watching the game, the illusion doesn't hold up. The reality is plain to see.
When I thought she was turning her season around, just when I thought Angel Reese was graduating from pretend basketball player to make-believe basketball player, the level where it's almost believable that Angel Reese is a basketball player. Just when I thought Angel Reese would pull through in the clutch and do America a favor. With a win last night against the Minnesota Lynx, Angel Reese would have become the most popular player in the WNBA dump. Well, Casey, that's simply not possible. Caitlin Clark will always be the most popular player in the WNBA.
I know why people are defending this. Let's get into it. Nneka Ogwumike, she gets up, proceeds to get boxed out, unable to move her opponent out of the way. Nneka Ogwumike retaliates, grabs her by the hips, throws her to the floor, stands over her, screams on her, flips her the double bird. Quinterly, Dallas Wings' teammate, being a good teammate, gets in the middle of the two, pushes Nneka out of the way like a good teammate should. Instead of saying, Nneka, come here, let me get you a hug. No, get up off my teammate, girl. Get up off my teammate. Nneka Ogwumike can't let it go.
Beyond the turnovers and shooting woes lies an even more troubling concern: Angel Reese's emotional control, or lack thereof. She plays the game with a fuse so short it might as well not exist, walking a tightrope of technical fouls every time she steps on the court. This isn't just fierce competitiveness, it's a consistent pattern of losing composure. The most notorious example? That heated moment with Alyssa Thomas. What should have been a standard box out turned into a full-blown hip toss, something you'd expect in a wrestling match, not in a WNBA game. It wasn't just reckless. It was dangerous, a move that showed zero regard for the safety of the opponent, but that wasn't an isolated incident. It's part of a larger pattern. Reese frequently invites confrontation, taunting opponents after minor plays, shouting down officials, and walking a fine line between intensity and instability. That she's leaned into the role of a physical enforcer, but without the discipline or self-control that role demands. And that's the real issue. This isn't leadership, it's volatility. A growing liability that her teammates are forced to navigate around. Every technical foul, every emotional outburst, chips away at her team's focus and forces them to manage not just the game, but her reactions.
I'm telling you, with a win last night, Angel Reese would have surpassed the Rue from Waterloo in popularity. Now, I am not saying that her dozens of aliases would have passed Caitlin Clark, but Angel Reese herself, she definitely would have. Going into the game last night, Cheryl Reed, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, she told the doofus duo who refer to themselves as stud buds, she told them if they lost this game to the Chicago Bravado, they would no longer be allowed to stream on Twitch.
So Angel Reese, the most toxic player in all of basketball, is out here slapping clipboards out of her coaching staff's hand because she's so mad her team committed a foul in the crunch after she shot 15 free throws this game. This is the lowest of the low disrespect that you can show to your coaching staff. She trying to get y'all locked in, worried about the next play, and you so toxic with your terrible, awful attitude that you slap the clipboard out of her.
But Reese's fiery outbursts aren't limited to opponents or officials. In one of the most shocking displays of on-court defiance in recent memory, cameras captured her smacking a clipboard straight out of an assistant coach's hands during a timeout. That single act spoke volumes. In just a few seconds, the internal power structure of the Chicago Sky was laid bare, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't just frustration, it was flat-out insubordination. A public signal that she views herself as untouchable, above direction, and beyond correction. And now, a disturbing question hangs over the franchise. Who's really in charge of this team? The coaching staff looks paralyzed. They're stuck trying to strike a near impossible balance, hold her accountable without triggering a PR disaster. Benching her would unleash a media circus. Calling her out publicly? That might cost them their jobs, so instead, they manage around her. They walk on eggshells, play damage control, and pray she doesn't blow up again. That clipboard moment wasn't just a flash of anger, it was a statement. A power move. And it made one thing brutally clear. On the Chicago Sky, the coaches aren't leading the star player, they're surviving her.